Recently, we tried to find out who is the biggest boss in all of Terraria, but in this video, we're trying to figure out the opposite and see who is the smallest boss in all of Terraria. Let's hop in game together and figure this one out. So recently, we checked out what were the biggest bosses in Terraria, but let's flip that around and try and find out who are the smallest bosses. Now, obviously, we got the vanilla game, and when we think of smallest bosses in the vanilla game, you know, we got a couple options. The most obvious one is probably the lunatic cultist. Boom. Okay, hold up. I have a texture pack installed, so he's a little bit more swole than usual. There you go. Now he's looking a little bit normal. He's still got a weird little bubble around him, but it's fine. But obviously, some of the smallest bosses we're going to see are going to be the same size as us, pretty much. He's a little bit taller. He's got a couple more inches on me. Pause, maybe. Question mark. But then we think of some previous versions of Terraria and we got boys like Lepus. Boom, look at him. He's pretty small. He's literally damn near the same height as us, but he's just a little bit more rotund, a little wider. Still a very small boss though. And the smallest one that I could think of in Terraria itself is obviously the Torch God, who literally is just the size of a torch. Now, I've already beat the Torch God with this character, so I don't even know if I can get it to spawn in again. Okay, he definitely would have spawned in at this point because I placed like 1,000,000 torches. But look, that's how tiny he is pretty much. So whatever the smallest torch is, boom, right there, you just place that baby, and that's how big he is here. I guess since we have like an actual visual representation when I spawned it in. Boom. So technically, the Torch God is the smallest / tiniest boss in the base game. Now let's get to the mods. So one of the first mods that comes up that's fairly obvious is the Fargo's mod, because the Fargo's mod has a lot of human-sized bosses, even kind of shorter than human size. I think the Deviant is actually a little bit shorter than us, but boom, that's one of them. Obviously, there's also the Mutant, and the Abomination is somewhere in here too. Let's just bring in the Mutant. My boy has, what was that, 2 million health? God damn. We don't need to see too much of him because he's a crazy fight by itself. Wait, hold up. Crazy death animation for a crazy fight. Now, I don't think there's any other smaller bosses besides the ones I just listed, the Abomination obviously. But what about my boy here? Who's this? Lifelight. His picture looks small, but I think it's because the boss is like a sort of segmented boss. Let's see. Yeah, it's like little tiny pieces that come together, but if you consider those pieces like a single piece of it as the boss, they're a fairly small boss then. Another boss that comes to mind here is a juice mod one, that being SAX. The first phase of SAX, as we can see, got the little Samus suit on, and then it does go into ball form every now and then, so it does make it very small. The Calamity mod itself surprisingly does have one of the smaller bosses, that just being Supreme Cal. Again, pretty much the same size as us, but with a lot more power. Honestly, I'm in God mode though, so I think my power is still a little bit higher than hers. We have some certain event bosses here, specifically from the Acus mod. There's like a little wind themed event, and from that event there is some certain dudes that spawn. One of them being this dude, the red sprite. Where'd he go? My boy just dipped on me. You're not gonna dip on me this time. I'm about to grab him out of there. Boom. Look at him. So tiny. Literally just the size of like a pretty much Nimbus Cloud, which that's exactly what he is. Little Nimbus Cloud with arms. He built like Geodude, low key. What the heck? And then he also has a friend that's a part of this event. I'm gonna grab you. He's slightly bigger, but he's still fairly small for a boss. Look at that little space squid. Moving on from those dudes, we got Sisyphus, but the boss. Here he comes. Go ahead. Boom. Look at that. And he's gone. What the hell? I'm gonna grab him this time. I don't know why all the bosses want to despawn. There you go. Look at him. Literally, my boy Sisyphus. Look at that. And the boulder actually moves when I move him. We have a certain ocean boss from the Adorbis mod here. The Hand of Cthulhu. Not like an actual hand. He's like, you know, the left hand man of somebody. Sadly, not an actual body part, but he's pretty tiny. He's honestly up there. He might be smaller than us. Look at this. That boy's floating on his tippy toes. Look, I can see his toes. He's on his tippy toes for sure. He might be smaller than us. And then after that, we get really, really tiny. And that really, really tiny boss is from the Conquest mod, which has a bunch of very interesting and unique things. Like, look at this beholder, sick looking. We even got this guy, Rat King Boss. Who wants to fight a rat boss? Shoot, I do. Final boss in New York, but that's not what we're here to see. We're here to see one of them though, and that is Dan Duke. Can't even see, bro. He vanished from existence, but that's what he looks like. Dan Duke. This is easily the smallest we've seen so far. Look at him. He's just like a big flower. This boss is a little bugged out. For some reason, when you spawn the actual boss, he goes all the way up here. But this is exactly what he looks like, as you can see from the pictures. But easily, this is our first place boss for the smallest so far. Let's see if we can find an even tinier one. We got another scoop of some random mods here. First one being the Martin's Order mod. And we got this little dude, Brits. A little tiny sleeping ice dragon. As you can see, he's sleeping in his little cloud. Very adorable. Get his ass up out of here. We got more to see. This dude's also pretty small. He's pretty much just in the drill containment unit. He's a Martian. The Martians are a little bit shorter than the Terraria player. But moving on from that, we have the Realm of Riley bosses. Specifically one. And it's this dude. Possessed Piggy Bank. He's pretty much just like a slightly larger piggy bank. Hold up. Can we see a size comparison? Let me bring out a trough. How much bigger is he than an actual trough? He's a decent amount bigger. But there you go. There's another one. He's definitely one of the smaller ones. He might be top 3, top 5. Keep it going though. What the heck? We got like geometry dash bosses. What is this? This mod has a handful of dudes. Magic Buddy. Look at him. That boy's short as hell. So he's also up there. And then I believe this mod might have a few other ones that are pretty small. That's like, okay. There's one more, I think. Is it this guy, Sir Violet? Nah, he's pretty big, actually. And then we got this Utrick mod, which has a good handful of just fairly small bosses. Starting with this dude, Dredger, which is just a big sort of paladin. He's kind of paladin size. Maybe a little bit taller than the paladin. But still very small. And then you got this guy, the Charcoal Snowman, which I probably gotta go up here to spawn. Boom. Look at that. Damn, look at the little light glowing in the background. But he's pretty much a snowman. Look at that. Hold on, I'm not even standing. Let's get a stance. You can kind of see it behind the explosions. And I believe there's one more, the Cosmic Menace. Also fairly small. So a handful of very small / human-sized bosses from this mod. Next up here, we got a good handful of mods that potentially have some fairly small bosses. We got this mod, the Awful Garbage mod, which is actually a solid mod. Don't let the name fool you. Giant Tree Frog, but not that giant. He's honestly fairly small. My bad, he was a toad, not a frog. And then we got this thing, which is sort of like a weird doll boss, a little bit taller than us. And then there's also a cloud that pulls up. That's a pretty big cloud. Definitely bigger than the last cloud boss we saw. But all of them, comparatively to most Terraria bosses, are fairly small. We do have the Awaken Light mod in here. And the bosses from this mod are also fairly tiny. Like, look at this dude. The Mushroom Monarch, he's barely taller than us. It looks like he's honestly 2 of us tall. And then we got the Spooky mod. Now we know the Spooky mod adds in a lot of cool content, a lot of bosses, a lot of mini bosses, and there is a decent handful of them that are fairly tiny. One of the ones that I do want to check out here is this one here. Let me go ahead and place a bunch of torches down, and I'm gonna take this cotton swab and I'm gonna put it in this statue. Look at that. Oh, who's Lil Bro? Lil Bro's gonna pull up and he's gonna possess all the powers coming from the nose statue. And now we got a nose boss. That's a big ass nose. I thought he was a little bit smaller, but still fairly tame. He's pretty much the size of like a Chimera. Then there's also a handful of mini bosses from this mod too that are also fairly tiny. Let me see if I can find a couple. We got these 3 ghosts. Can I even spawn in these ghosts? They won't even let me spawn them in normally. We got the Tome of Spirits, which is literally just a book mini boss. Oh, here we go. My boy brings in the actual ghost. Okay, so whichever one you want to consider the actual boss. And then on top of that, there is this dude down here who's also a boss. He's a little bit bigger. Some of these bosses are definitely bigger than I thought they were going to be, but still smaller compared to something like the Brain. And then we get to the AFK Pets mod, which has a decent amount of fairly small bosses in it. I guess let's just start bringing them in and see what happens. We got the Undead Chef. Look at him. Just slightly taller. That might be because he bounces a little bit. You know, he got a little bounce in his step. Who else do we got? What is this thing? Is this a laundry machine? A washer? There's a bunch of slimes that are also from this mod. A bunch of slimes that are bosses. These dudes are definitely really small. The slime ones. We got Slayer of Evil. Again, that's another sort of Terraria sized character. Hold up. He's pretty small. No, he's like perfectly the same size as me. We got this dude, the security bot. What is going on? My game is changing different colors. Feels like we got the Fallout New Vegas like orange filter on. But we got this guy, security bot. We got Storm Diver, which is like a little airplane. There you go. Little airplane and then a little harpy. A little duo boss. Kind of cool. We got some more slimes. Oh my god. Hold on. I gotta leave the game and come back. There's too much shit going on. All right, keep it going. We got Politician Slime. Look how tiny bro is. He's literally just like a normal slime. Bodyguard Slime, who probably goes along with the politician ones. We got a terrifying boss, Okiku, which he's gonna make things a little bit more demonic and scary. Oh god, let go of me, please. I'm gonna see if teleporting across the map will save me. I can't see anything. What the hell is going on to my game, bro? My game's actually getting cursed. We got some more slime-sized bosses. The Neko Slime, the Nightmare Slime. These dudes are kind of big, actually. He's pretty small. And then we got Isaac from The Binding of Isaac. Look how tiny bro is. He is folded up and laying down, but he's literally the Isaac fight from the game itself. And he's pretty tiny. On top of him, they also have Azazel as a boss, who's also pretty tiny. A little bit wider because of the wings. If you guys don't know, Binding of Isaac is literally my favorite roguelike. Maybe a top 5, top 10 game for me. We got Holographic Slime. Go ahead. Okay, what the heck? What kind of slime moves like this? Heroic Slime. He's pretty wide. We got a Dr. Fetus, but just in his little fetus form. And then if you don't want his fetus form, you know, you got his obviously regular normal form, who's also fairly tiny. And I think that's it. I believe that's it from this mod. I think everything. Oh, that boy is super tiny. Hold up. It's good that I checked. What's my boy's name? Anthony? Anthony is microscopic. Why is he so small like this? I don't know. I feel like this is not accurate, but wait, what the hell? I didn't type all that. He's super tiny, super microscopic. I don't know why. I feel like the game's bugging out. Look. Do you see that? Like, why is the slime going into the background? So I don't know if this dude's actually the tiniest because I feel like the game's glitching. But I believe that's everyone. That has to be everybody. What the heck is going on? We have our last set of mods that I have installed, but somehow one of the mods I installed for this last part completely just freezes the game, as you can see. That is modded Terraria in a nutshell. Literally nothing's happening. I can type, but I literally can't move, and nothing else in the game is even like animating. I can't even leave the game. Holy, what curse happened to my computer? All right, I finally got the game to work. As you can see, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of structures. Oh my god, it's a lot different. Kind of sick looking, but we got things that we want to see here. Specifically, let's go to the snow biome because there should be something here that I want to get my hands on. Where is it? I swear it's supposed to be like right here. This is like a nest right here. Whatever. I'll spawn it in manually. It is this little dude, the baby ice dragon. He's kind of pretty big for a baby ice dragon. It's kind of terrifying because that means that a regular ice dragon from this mod is going to be gigantic. Next up is kind of the whole entirety of the Gensokyo mod, which has pretty much just a bunch of bosses that are human size. As we can see, I don't really need to spawn in too many. You guys probably understand. Let me spawn in this one though. This one looks cool. Where's it at? I don't even see it. Not even the bosses from the mod want to spawn. Okay, what about you? There you go. Look at it. Human size boss. Now we get to the Lunar Veil mod, which is the mod that adds in all this crazy stuff. It's a pretty cool mod, so I recommend checking it out. Let's go over here to this green biome. Actually, can we go somewhere where there's like light? I need light and color, because it is a little too dark right now. But let's just start spawning some random bosses from that mod, because I have a feeling there might be a good handful of fairly tiny fellas. Let's start with this dude. Nah, he kind of big. Okay, what about you? Dreadmire. All right, fairly small. Again, cursing my computer with some demonic shit. But that was a fairly tiny boss. What about my boy Jack, who is a, what is he? Scarecrow? Scarecrow looking dude, fairly tiny, as a scarecrow probably would be in Terraria. I think that might be all. Let's see. You sound like you look small. Cilia? Okay. Fairly small, but this boss seems like she's going to have some power behind her. Small but powerful. That's usually how it goes. I believe that is actually all. There's no way there's more. Pandora's Flame Box? Hold up. Okay, I take it back. That's actually really tiny. It's literally a chest. And not like a mimic chest either, like literally a normal Terraria chest. Okay, I see they're trying to go for the win. The Lunar Veil mod trying to go for the win. Now we have our final set of mods here. I saved the best for last, but first, before we get there, we're on the Red Cloud mod, which is pretty much a Dark Souls, pretty much, yeah, just a Souls-like theme mod for Terraria. And as you can see, the maps are handcrafted and it's pretty sick. I played a little bit of it. I wish I played all of it, but I played a decent bit of it, and man, it's pretty good. Look at this. You even have a little roll feature that automatically makes it a Souls-like, right? Oh, what the heck? My boy, the King Slime pulling up. You gotta go. You gotta go. We gotta make a room for the actual bosses here, because the story of the Red Cloud mod does have a decent amount of smaller bosses in it. Question is I gotta figure out which one is which, because as we can see, there's a good bit to spawn. A lot of them are pretty much just human sized. If I bring one in, like, look at that. It's pretty much, what is this? One of the dudes from Bloodborne? Nameless King. I don't even know if I could spawn in some of these guys, because some of them are locked behind certain things you got to do. We got this guy, Ferrum. Who else? Red Knight. Like, look at all these dudes. They're all pretty much our size. Even Gwyn, the Lord of Cinders, our size, which I feel like he should be way bigger, but it's probably way easier to animate him being our size, because he's pretty damn tall in the Souls games. I think that's pretty much everybody. There's like a little handful here and there that are around our size. We got this bird looking dude. Look at him. weird bird looking dude. Artorias again was also kind of big in the Souls games. He was a little taller at least. But just a bunch of human-sized guys. I don't even know what I spawned in. It's breaking my game. Let me go somewhere else. I'm going somewhere else because it's a little scary over there. Too many bosses running around. Who else do we still have? We have this thing, the machine. It looks small. I don't see it. That's how small it is. It's microscopic. Is he the boss? Ain't no way this dude's a boss. And then we got Mind Flayer Illusion. He sounds like he's gonna be small. Pretty much, you know, Eye Cthulhu looking dude. Mind Flayers from D&D. That's it though. There's no way there's any more that are that much smaller in this mod. What the heck? Last but not least, two of them. We have two of them, both from the same mod. The ones that I actually believe might be the smallest or competing for the smallest. I think the smallest is still Dan Duke from the Conquest mod, but the GIANT Terraria mod adds in some very tiny dudes. One of them being this dude, Hornlets. Can't even see him. Where's my bro at? Oh, there he is. He's like a little lizard. He looks like he might be the same length as us though, if we lay down horizontally. He's just a little lizard that's got some insane speed. Think about him being like Sonic, but a lizard. But he's not the one we're looking for to be the smallest. The one we're looking for is none other than the Lad. That's right. That's his name. Boom. There he is. Lad. He might be wider than Dan Duke, but his size, his height is pretty small. And also, he's pretty adorable. I like him better than Dan Duke, who's just a flower. He's also killing himself by hitting me with tech. This dude you're supposed to fight before King Slime, so he's supposed to be insanely weak. But there we go. There was the smallest bosses in Terraria. Let me know in the comments who I missed, because there's obviously going to be some mods that I don't really know about that probably had some smaller ones. And then there's probably a bunch that had like some, you know, decent sized ones. Wait, hold up. He's smaller. He got even smaller. Little lads. If I kill these dudes, does he come back? Yeah, he does. I still consider that a part of him. They're little lads. Oh my God, rest in peace. But yeah, let me know in the comments. The next video that I have for this little mini series is who are the longest bosses in Terraria, which obviously is probably going to be majority worm bosses. So leave in the comments so I can start researching early for that video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for future videos. Also, make sure to check out the second channel, Game Raiders Live, where I post all the Twitch streams you missed from twitch.tv/gamers101. Again, if you guys didn't hear it, I am in the process of moving. I will be moving out fully by the end of March is the planned time. So if streams and videos slow down, that's the reason. The last couple of videos did absolutely extremely terrible, which sucks because there was like 4 or 5 videos I posted, which were doing solid. But this is the life I live. Anytime I post a video, I don't expect it to do good at all. That's just how I kind of learned to live with it at this point. But I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good one.